Our guest this week is a smart doctor from Davao City, Philippines, specializing in obstetrics and gynecology. She is Dr. Gina Lopez-Batuto. She is the former president of the Philippine Obstetrical and Gynecological Society, Mindanao Chapter. She was a single mom for 16 years, where the oldest was only 8 years old and the youngest was only 3. She only used to be teaching in the medical school before pandemic, and she is a practicing medical professional. How did she manage to be a single mom, teaching in medical school, and a practicing doctor? What are the most memorable experiences she has being an obstetrician? And how does COVID affected the field of obstetrics? Before we will proceed to the main interview, I would like to remind our viewers to click on the subscribe button as well as the bell button so you get a notification every time a video is released. This is Janet Jordy at Global Inspiration, where you need to be seen, need to be heard, and be an inspiration to the world. Friends, let's welcome to the show Dr. Gina Lopez-Batuto.
Everyone. I'm Gina Lopez-Batuto. I am an obstetrician, but basically a mother.
Yeah.
So I will be sharing with you my thoughts, my life.
Yeah.
I am afraid that my son will ask me, "You're sharing too much of your life." But I think that's the idea of this forum. We inspire people. We actually share stories, and in the process, we learn from it and we share it, and so we move on with our lives.
Correct.
That's basically my story.
Yeah, and it is better to share more of your life rather than ashamed of sharing it. So, Dr. Gina Lopez-Batuto, tell us more about yourself. And when we say more, it means maybe you can share with us your education, your family, your pets, your garden.
I am a mother of two. As you mentioned, I've been a widow for 16 years, but I got married again 3 years ago. I was educated here in Turil, which is the area where you also came from, right? I think that's the reason why I knew you, because of your sister. I once assisted your sister in her delivery. Um, I was educated in Davao, but I took my medical education in Manila. And since I always envisioned myself to practice where I came from and improve and share my knowledge in my locality. Since I came home in 1991, I have been a practicing obstetrician gynecologist since 1998, because I still had my training in at Davao Doctor's Hospital. And since then, when I graduated in 1998, I practiced already in our locality, in our community here in Turil. It's a small community. It's about 30 minutes away from the city. And I serve the locality. So I chose to come home to Davao City, to my community here in Turil. And actually, my clinic is just a few steps away from my home. I've raised my children; they are now adults. I'd like to correct, my son was just 6 years old when my husband died, and the youngest one was only 3 months. He was only 3 months old. That was just so life has been difficult, but after a while, you realize there are a lot of things that you would want to be thankful for. We are thankful for the gift of life, and so we are here. We have this uh, knowledge, this ability, this that we can share with other people. So I chose to stand up again and serve the community. So after so many years, I think I've been in practice for almost 25 years. So I'm still here. I am still an obstetrician, and I am practicing in my community.
That's one thing I really like about you because you are from Turil, Davao City, and you're practicing in Turil. And I thank you that my sister, Jenny Kawasaki, who is now in Japan, is or was one of your clients. So we both came from the same high school, the St. Peter's College of Turil, and college also from Ateneo de Davao University. You graduated, yes, you graduated as valedictorian in high school and as a cum laude at Ateneo de Davao. You are now a practicing physician, I would say. You are in the field of obstetrics and gynecology. What exactly do you do? Can you share that with us?
Janet, I am an obstetrician, so I am a woman specialist. I examine women. Mostly my patients are women. Although during infertility workup, I also talk to the husbands. But I am basically catering to I cater to women from adolescence and then up to menopause. I do also prenatal checkups on pregnant women, and I do pap smears. I do uh, uh, wellness checkups on women, on all, except I also cater to children who are referred to me by pediatricians. But that takes a very small part of my practice. The rest of it are adolescents up to menopause.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I love your profession because you try to deliver or bring life to this world and be sure that the kid, the infant, and the mother are safe.
Janet, I believe I am in a very good what's this line of work, because in profession, because women come to me and they share these stories, they share their problems, and I am just very lucky that people trust me, that women trust me, that I can help them. So in the because there are stories, we all have different stories to tell, and some of these stories I without meaning to share, be to broadcast your story to other people, but I share these stories, no names, just the experience, because I believe that some of the experiences that women had or shared with me can be used by other people, by other women, like how they stood up from where, if they had experienced difficulties in their lives, and how they managed to stand up again and reinvent their lives. So in that process, I feel very lucky. I feel because people come to me and share these stories, and I get to share their stories. And actually, some of them would use these stories to reinvent themselves. So
Correct. And I agree with you. And as I can see your eyes when you talk, I can see that your job doesn't only make you happy, but it brings you joy, right?
yes,
Yes.
exactly.
I understand that you are also a practice, not a practicing that, but you passed the nurses licensure exam in 2006, I think, in 2007. And then my question, I am curious why you took the exam in 2006 or 2007, where you are already an obstetrician and you passed the exam in 1992. Why did you take the exam?
But this is my story actually. In 2002, almost 20 years ago, I had a patient who I handled a patient who died. My patient died died, and the husband of my patient killed my husband. So that's my story. But because of the circumstances of my husband's death, um, I feared for my life. So how would the only thing I thought of at that time was to leave the country. And so before doing that, since I was already 35 years old then, I thought it would be difficult for me to start in another country as a physician. Otherwise, I cannot practice as a doctor in other countries. So I took up nursing, and I actually passed the board exam. I am even a registered nurse in the US. Um, but and so I was hired. There were people who came over and interviewed me, and so I was hired in a hospital somewhere in California. You need to have a visa, a working visa, or an immigrant visa to be able to practice in the States as a nurse. And at that time, there was a 5-year lag. So we were not. It wasn't that if you the thing at that time was, even if you are hired already, you cannot go to the States because you need this visa. And so at that time there was a 5-year lag. And so when the visa came that I can already practice in the States, I I read about it a year after it was sent to me. At that time, my son was already in college, and he was already in a good university, and my other son was in high school. And so I thought the reason why I want to go away is to start my life all over again, is for my children to have a um, better life. But then at that time, they wanted me to practice. My employers, I mean, they wanted me to practice as a nurse here in the Philippines. And at that time, about 2014, I was already thick into OB-GYN. And I found it hard to go on duty as a nurse as well as handle my patients. My practice was already picking up at that time. So that was a long time ago. From 2002, I got widowed. 2008, I passed the NCLEX, and I got the visa in 2014. So it has been a long time. And since I said it was my choice to go on with my life, I am already into OBGYN. And so I decided I just want to stay and help the people here in my locality. I have mentioned I practice about an hour away from the city. But still, I am happy where I am, and I am happy doing what I am doing. And I believe that I'm really good at what I am doing. So after 25 years, I am still an obstetrician and enjoying every bit of it.
So you are a registered nurse and an obstetrician. So is there any member of the family, on the side of your father, or the side of your mother, who is into medicine and that prodded you to be where you are right now?
An unfulfilled dream of my father to be a doctor. But so what he did, since he was an engineer, and my mom is a government teacher, just like your mom. I was able to check your website last night, and um, since he couldn't be he wasn't able to become a doctor, all 4 children are doctors. I have my brother was an anesthesiologist. I am an obstetrician. The third sister, who is practicing as a dentist, is in the States, also married to a doctor, also married to a dentist. And my youngest sister is a pediatrician in the States, in New Hampshire. So we are all doctors in the family. So in that way, I think my father is happy already that he had 4 doctors, even if he did not fulfill his promise. We always say that if there is something that we want, the unfulfilled dream, it may be unfair to our children, but somehow we ask our children to fulfill it for us. And so we did it for my father.
Yeah.
And so now I have two children. Um, I don't want to tell them that I wanted to become doctors, but they told me that we don't have any other, we don't know any other career path
Yeah.
because everybody in the family is in the medical career. So
Right.
hopefully, but they're still in college. They are not yet in medicine, but hopefully they will pursue. And I just want them to to become who they want to be. We may prod, but we cannot force people to
Yeah.
do the things that we want.
Yeah. And thank you on behalf of your father. Thank you for making him happy. He is not a doctor, but his kids are all doctors, or most of them are doctors. You are the former president of POGS, or POGS, or the Philippine Obstetrical and Gynecological Society, Mindanao Chapter. Share with us what you consider to be a great accomplishment during your term.
During my term, what we did was we started this PPP. It's a private public partnership. POGS Philippine, POGS is a private society, but it is a group of all the obstetricians and gynecologists in the Philippines. So we cater to women. We give out, we do free clinics, free pap smears, community service. But the one that I am really very proud of is we were able to start this public private partnership wherein we partnered with the city health of Davao, and so we went to areas where we can do the community service. We would provide the professional help, and they would look for all the patients that needed our specialty. So we go there, we schedule, we conduct this services, community services, and we do that every year. Also, I am an advocate of AHIP, which is one program in our society. AHIP stands for Adolescent Health Issues and Perspectives. We go to we go to schools, actually high schools. That's a secondary school in your equivalent to your secondary education. And we go there, we lecture on teenage pregnancy, alcoholism, sexually transmitted diseases, and those things. So we educate these people, and I believe that if I can convince one child not to go into uh, premarital sex and adhere to abstinence, if I can just convince one, and just like, you know, when you throw a pebble on a pond, it will create, I believe it will create ripples. So we this is our advocacy. I don't get tired. I usually just drop everything when I have a schedule. I usually for an AHIP activity, I drop everything, and because I believe I can only cater to a few people in that clinic, but when I go to schools, I can touch more. I can inform. I can educate more women and young women at that, because we believe that the youth is the people that will work in the future, the promise of the future. And tama ba yun?
Yeah.
Ang kabataan, ang pag-asa ng
Yes.
bayan. The youth is
Hope. The hope of the future, I think, of the nation. Yeah.
and so if we educate these young people, then they later on they will become our future leaders.
Yeah.
And so they will share and continue our advocacies.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Fantastic and wonderful community services, Doc Gina. And I salute you for doing that, for sacrificing your time to be with the public. You are a practicing and you're doing good things for that as an obstetrician. It is a very interesting work. Share with us at least two memorable experiences in that field.
There are a lot of experiences that in as an obstetrician, no. But the thing is, every time I go to the clinic, I do not know what will happen. I do not know which who will I will talk to that particular day. But every time I deliver babies, it's always associated with joy. No, it's a baby boy, it's a baby girl, so it is always associated with, well, happiness. And in that process, you get to touch lives. And yeah, I feel that is the most unique in this profession,
Yeah.
because you get to be in the, sometimes people go to the clinic not just to seek help. Sometimes people just want to be heard.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about being an obstetrician. There was one I would like to share with you, one particular elderly woman that who came to my clinic, and as I told her, she came in for a lot of complaints, and when the laboratories come, they are always normal. And so when I really probe deeper, that's when I got the history that she was just sad.
Yeah.
Because her daughter is away, her family is away, and nobody seems to understand her, probably because the menopause is kicking in. And we see that you are there are a lot of things that you are thinking of when you are into menopause, because the hormones are changing. You feel miserable, you feel cranky, and so sometimes the family members shy away from you because they cannot understand you. But actually, this is the time when you need to just talk to these women, and everything and assure them that everything they're experiencing is just normal. So women just have to go through that process, and after that, you live with it and you embrace it. And so it's not the end of everything. It is actually the start of something new. No more problems of getting pregnant. You are free to do whatever you want to do. And when you get retired from your work, you can travel, you can go anywhere you want to go, and just be, you just chill. So yeah, those are actually experiences that make
Yeah.
OBGYN very endearing, or not endearing, very fulfilling.
Yeah.
No,
And this,
we don't just treat women who have diseases.
yeah.
We're just there to be a friend.
Yeah. And fulfilling your job as an obstetrician gives joy, correct? Am I correct? Yeah. So
So
before,
because in the process also, if I may say, Janet, these women become families. They become if I become a part of their family most of the time, because when I deliver when I assist a pregnant woman in her delivery, sometimes I just do not assist at just for one time.
yeah.
Sometimes I get to deliver all the babies. So when I see their posts in Facebook, I would claim that those are all my babies. And so I would, sometimes there are times that I would feel sad, and I would just look at the Facebook. I stalk my patients, and when I see all those posts that they are so happy with their children, somehow it brings back the happiness. I get to imbibe the happiness and the energy that I see on Facebook, because if I see the happy faces on their parents and their families, why should I be sad? Maybe I did something right after all.
Yeah. Just share.
That's my day.
Correct, correct. Correct. And just sharing with you, Doc Gina, my sister Jenny Kawasaki speaks highly of you. Salute, salute to you. You remarried in 2018, but before that, you are a single mom for 16 years. And I have mentioned that your oldest was 8 and your youngest was 3. I know it is not easy to do that. You're dealing with a traumatic death of your husband. Name at least 2 challenges you experience raising your 2 boys as a single mom.
It's always difficult to be asked to be at 2 places at the same time. That's the most difficult thing for me, because I had to be, first and foremost, I am a mother, but I am also a doctor. These two are the things that I need to. These are 2 roles that I needed to look into. It's okay for women. It's okay for parents to leave their children at daytime. But have you tried to leave your children in the middle of the night? That's the most difficult for me, because usually um, pregnant women deliver at night, at early dawn, so. When I look at my children that they are sleeping and they needed me, but at the same time I had to leave to be able to help my patient. That's the most difficult thing for me. And also when there are activities that needed a mother, but I was at a different place at that time, that's very difficult. And so I'm just very lucky because I have my cousin who is also a teacher and who stands as my was also a actually my children call me mama, but they call my cousin mommy. I have my cousin Girly who is a teacher right now, and she is still is the second mom of my children. And since I live with my mom is also there to help me in my parental responsibility. So um, that's it. Like you have to be at that place as a mother, but you are also with a patient who is about to deliver. That's actually, and also during this COVID, the most difficult thing is how not to go home with the COVID, because the one who goes in and out of the house is usually the one who will bring the COVID home. So that's the challenge: how not to bring the disease home. And but one thing that I learned, even if the children were still very small, one day they will grow up.
Yeah.
And so they grew up.
Yeah.
And this is one thing I learned, no? Never underestimate the capacity of the child to understand what is happening in your life right now.
Yeah.
They may not understand it now, but later on, they will grow up.
Mm-hmm.
And so the children are what we make them. If we make them malambing,
Yeah.
very
Sweet,
what's this? Caring, sweet.
caring,
They
sweet.
will also be sweet. They will
Yeah.
also return because that's what they learned from you.
Yeah.
And if you also shower them with anger, they will also shout back at you. So it's how you do your work every day. How you make a balance.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's very difficult to handle the children as a mother who is caring, but also as a father wherein you need to instill um, the rules. You need to what's this? Not castigate, but you have to instill discipline. Yeah, that's the right term. You need to instill the discipline to your children But at the same time, the mother in me says, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the father in me says, you have to instill this discipline so that you will, we will rear the children
Yeah. Yeah.
to be the person that we want them to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing those facts with the viewers, Doc Gina. Your attitude, your positivity in life is very contagious. And being a single mom, you raise a wonderful two sons. Your life is very inspirational, especially being a single mom and being in the field of medicine. My question is, who inspires you of who you are today?
It is my mom. I am. My mom is not here with me right now. She left last December 15 to be with my youngest sister in New Hampshire. The COVID has she hated the fact that she had to stay home because she's an 84-year-old octogenarian. No, she has to stay home. She's in lockdown, so she got fed up with being locked down in the house. So my sister asked me to that she wanted to bring my mom to send she wanted me to send my mom to the US. So last December 15 she left, but um my mom is my greatest idol in my life. She is a retired public school teacher. She is my as you as well she is my number one teacher, my number one fan. I look up to her. She has very simple rules in life: be honest, be instill discipline. That's what they do. Teachers instill discipline in their students, in their children. And she is also my number one critic. And she would tell me what's wrong with my decisions and how we can learn from it.
Yeah.
And I'm just so happy that she is still with me. Like
Yeah.
some women at my age would have lost their mothers, but I am very lucky. I am still with I still have my mother with me. My father was an OFW for 23 years. She was away. So I basically grew up with my mom and my grandmother. So, and also, I think her her being simple in life, in handling life, is the one that really taught me to be contented. She would tell me, do not reach for the sky. Just live within your means.
Yep.
And it was difficult being a widow mom, to be, you would want things, but then because you are earning alone, which is really, there is really um what's this we should really live
Yeah. Yeah.
within our means,
Yeah.
so that we will not harbor so we just have to live within our means.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Most kids idolize their mother because they teach us how to be simple, and yet they are our number one critic. Doc Gina, you are a very busy, preoccupied mother. You are an obstetrician. You are busy with community services. My question to you is, if you are not busy, what do you do, or what are your hobbies? Do you cook? Do you garden? Do you do yoga? Do you dance? Do you sing? Share those with us.
I sing. I'm a karaoke queen. That's what I do. Music suits the I turned to music when I became a widow. It soothed. It was a an avenue for me to express my feelings, my sadness, my anger, my excitement. And so I would say I'm pretty good at it. And since the pandemic, also, we had to ask the gardener to leave because I didn't want that he would bring COVID in the house. So we were on lockdown, so we didn't allow people to get in and out of the house, of our house. So the plants were dying, and so I started my plantita journey, if we could say that. I'm a very proud plantita. I have a lot of plants. I have almost 1,000 plants in my house. Um, I have learned how to it doing this gardening. Um, it it removes the what's this toxicity in my life, and I embrace, probably because you are surrounded with a lot of plants. There are a lot of oxygen around. The energy is really very good, no, when I'm in the garden. And I don't know if you see my plants. These are my
Yes.
plants. So
Yeah.
I'm just so happy. I don't sell.
Yeah.
I just cultivate. I just propagate, and I share it with my friends. um I would like to believe that with you can share and share this hobby, and it brings every, because when you plant kasi, when a plant starts to propagate, or it gives out a new leaf,
Mhm.
and you don't know what you're getting, it's always a surprise. It's
Yeah.
always a good karma, good energy, that there is something, there is a birth. I told you, I like giving life. I like assisting in giving life, with through a baby or through a plant. So when a new leaf comes out, I am so excited,
Yeah.
and I usually take pictures, and
Yeah.
I show it. I flaunt it
Yeah.
that my hands are not just for babies, but for also for
Yeah.
planting, for gardening,
Yeah.
and
I've
it
seen
makes
I've
me really
yeah.
happy.
Yeah, I've seen the photos on Facebook, and when I see them, oh my gosh, they are so beautiful. The red leaves, and it's not only one or two varieties. There are a lot of varieties, and they are healthy and they are thriving. So thank you for planting those plants. And they're not actually, very few are bearing flowers. They're mostly leaves, right? Colorful leaves, leaves.
Different colors, different what's this patterns.
Yes,
I love,
yes,
I'm into philodendrons, and what's this, any green plant will
yeah,
make me happy,
yeah, yeah,
especially if it has a different color, but as long as it is able to survive.
yeah,
But there are
yeah,
also mishaps, but we learn.
yeah,
The more important thing is we are able to learn from it, and so we do things so that we
yeah,
can help revive the life.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, your life, Dr. Gina Lopez-Batuto, is very inspirational, and thank you for sharing your life with us. My last request, well, from you is to share any inspirational thoughts with our viewers based on your experiences in life.
um it has been 20 years since my husband died, and up to now we haven't had there is still no justice, no. The one who killed my husband is still at large. And so, but then, even with this events in my life, I would like to believe that we should have, we should empty our hearts of all the pains and hurts, so that we can fill it up with love again.
Yeah,
Because
agree.
if you are if there is anger eating your heart, one day you might hand it down to your children and to the generations. So again, as you know, I remarried after 16 years. So that's how you empty all the pains, all the hurts, so that you can fill it up with love again. And the next favorite, um, what's this saying I would like to share with you is, we all have a choice in life.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you are the only one who can answer the question, what really makes you happy?
Yeah.
Is it money? Is it success in your career? Or is it the love and respect of your family?
Yeah.
Only you can
Yeah.
answer that. I cannot answer that for you, because
Yeah.
actually, happiness is a choice,
Yeah.
as well as being miserable is a
Yeah.
choice. But then
Yeah.
again, the choice is yours to make.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfectly said, Doc Gina Lopez-Batuto. And again, thank you for sharing your profession and your life and your community services with us. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Janet,
Yeah.
for inviting me,
Yeah.
for allowing me to share my story. I'm just a mother, a doctor who is always afraid that COVID will affect every one of us.
Yeah.
But there is joy.
Yeah.
Actually, the COVID has brought everybody closer. We have reconnected with our friends, even if they are far away because of social media.
Yeah.
We found ourselves praying again.
Yeah.
We found ourselves being eating and being a family again.
Yeah.
And so we thank you. Um, we thank you. I thank you for this experience.
Yeah.
This is so cathartic. No, I want to share my story. This is just, I'm just a mother, a doctor at the same time, but most especially, I am an individual who wants to help others, who wants to share that, we can, if we um, what's this, if there is something happening in our lives that is not really good at the moment, just look at the brighter side of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the sun will always rise after uh, the rain, and you can always look up to sunrises,
Yeah. Yeah.
to sunrise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yun lang. You have
Yeah.
to, let's be let's share this positivity,
Yeah.
and let us touch a life. That call, that text message can actually make somebody live
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And so let's share this
Yeah.
positivity with everyone.
Yeah.
I believe that God has His plans for us. It may not be there is a saying that when God closes the door, closes the door, He opens the window. But then again, no matter how hard you nudge on that window, it just won't open because God said it isn't the right time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, thank you very much for the
Yeah.
experience. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Hello, greetings to everyone who's watching this. My name is AJ Alvarez. I am the son of Dr. Gina Lopez-Batuto, the one present in the interview. Now, I would just like to share a few words about my mother. She's a very tenacious person. She's very kind, she's very caring, and most of all, she is determined and loving to her children. And aside from that, well, I know she's said a few minor inconveniences in her life, and that's why we keep pushing through, because we idolize her for her tenacity on that matter. That never giving up is something we should all do. And I just want to say that this was the this is the best mother that anyone could ever ask for, as that person never really knows when to give up, and just by that we appreciate everything that she does for us.
Thank you very much, Doc Gina Lopez-Batuto. Again, this is Janet Jordy at Global Inspiration, where you need to be seen, need to be heard, and be an inspiration to the world.